Okay, if we're good to go, I'd like to call today's meeting, August 17th at 10 a.m. I'd like to call it to order. And the invocation will be done by Nick Montague. And Joe, would you lead us in the pledge today?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this day, and we thank Thee that the Board of Supervisors are able to meet, and we ask Thee to give Thy Spirit to be with them, that they will be able to discern what is best for the county, and help them as they use judgment, that they will have Thy Spirit to be with them. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Regular agenda items. We'll start with 2A. Information discussion action to set primary and secondary property tax rates for fiscal year 2026 through 2027 for all taxing jurisdictions within Gila County and convey tax rates for all jurisdictions to the county treasurer and adopt resolution number 26-08-01 providing for the collection of taxes for all jurisdictions by the county treasurer for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Mayor Billings, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I believe that Charlotte has a request before I begin.
Chairman, were we going to hear the hearing for the continuance for the Vance?
Pardon me?
Were we going to do the hearing officer complaint number GC 2502-005?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that first.
I apologize.
Okay, so then we had on F, regular agenda item F, but it was for 1:30. Is everyone here for that meeting?
I do not see Mr. Harper. However,
He's in Payson, I do believe.
perfect. And then we have Jessica Scabelli on the line, and Rodney States is on the line as well.
Okay, good enough then. If we're all here, then we are going to jump down to 2F. And that will be information discussion action to affirm, modify, or reverse the final decision of the Gila County hearing officer regarding complaint number GC 2502-005, non-compliance of Gila County zoning ordinance for property located at 1823 North Wheatfields Road in Globe. We have Randy Plummer. Is he on the line? He's not on this line. Excuse me, that was my county phone that went off. Okay, who is going to be presenting this?
Chair, this is Rodney States. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I believe at this time the parties were wanting to bring before the board the pending motion to continue, and if the continuance is granted, then the hearing will be set to a subsequent date. And if the hearing is not granted, or if the continuance is not granted, then we would recess from this code enforcement appeal hearing until 1:30 p.m. and then the parties would present at that time.
Oh, okay. Mr. Harper, do you have some information? Oh, Josh has some information. Okay.
I'll fill in for Randy for this. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. So we've been working with Mike Harper and everybody involved in this case, and they're moving towards rectifying the issues that we had. So on the county's behalf and community development, we were fine for a continuance on our behalf. For they're working towards what we were aiming for the end result. So
Okay, I guess then it would be up to the board for questions. Supervisor Klein, you have any questions?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you, Josh.
Supervisor Christensen?
Yeah, I'm kind of lost. Are we asking for a continuance in the future, or are we asking for something at 1:30?
I think we're asking for a continuance into the future because they've procured the services they need to correct the violations on the property. And this would give them time to carry through with the work that they've procured.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we've been working very well with them, and they've been trying to get within compliance. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with extending that, and then we won't need to hear it at 1:30. Okay, so Mr. Harper, you good? You got anything up in Payson?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning, supervisors. Yes, we do have an engineer and a contractor both working on it right now. So the wheels are turning.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And so I will, I'll call for a motion on 2F.
You want me to take it?
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to continue the hearing for 60 calendar days regarding complaint number GC 2502-005.
I will second that.
Having a motion second, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes unanimous, so we won't hear it at 1:30, and it'll come before us at another date. Okay, now, Maren, thank you very much for your patience, and so it's your turn. We're back to 2A, and I have read it, so here we go.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Jessica Sabelli has left the conference.
Rodney States.
Has left the conference.
Annually on the third Monday in August, the Gila County Board of Supervisors adopts the tax rates and levies for the cities, towns, Gila County, the special districts, and the secondary taxes and the schools. We have that here for you today. And attached, just for your information and for your constituents' information, we have gone through and mapped out for the residents of each area what percentage of their tax bill, if it were $1, goes to each entity. So these are here if you ever need them, and historically we've added them to the annual report. I expect we'll be doing that again. In the town of Payson, the schools receive about 27% of $1. The county receives 23.6%. Fire districts receive about 21 cents. Sanitary districts about 12 cents. Water districts about 7%. The college gets about 5%. The town gets just about 1.6%. And then the library district, FDAT, and NAVIT are in that lower right-hand corner. City of Globe, similarly, the county gets 29.49 cents. The schools get 26.72 cents. Fire district, for those served by a fire district, is 26.4 cents. The city is 8.19 cents. The college is just about 6.4. And then library, FDAT, and Civic. Town of Miami is similar, except that the town gets a little over 30 cents. The schools get a little over 30 cents. The county gets just under 30 cents. The college gets about 6.5 cents, and then library, fire district, and civic get the rest. These ratios or dollar amounts change based on the effective tax rate in each area. And then for unincorporated areas here in southern Gila County, about 26 cents goes to the county. In this zip code of 85501, just over 23 cents goes to the schools. Sanitary district is about 10.75 cents. The street lighting improvement districts are about 7.5 cents. Fire districts are just a hair over 23 cents. And then the college is 5.7 cents. with the library district, FDAT, and Civet filling out the rest. And then we have Hayden for you. In Hayden, 42.2 cents goes to the town. Just under 40 cents goes to the schools. 13.9 cents goes to the county. About 3 cents to the college, and the rest to the library, FDAT, and Civet. And Winkleman is similar. The town of Winkleman gets 42 cents of the dollar. Again, the Hayden Winkleman schools gets just under 40 cents. The county gets just over 13 cents. The college gets about 3, and then library district, fire district assistants, and Civet gets the rest. And then, so we come up with an average for all of Gila County's taxpayers. On average, for your $1 tax bill, the schools get about 25 cents. The county gets about 22 cents. Fire districts get just under 20 cents. Sanitary districts get about 11.5 cents. Water districts get about 6.7. The street lighting improvement districts get about 6.3, and the college gets about 4.8 overall average. And then cities and towns get an average of 1.5 cents. And then the library district, fire district assistance tax, and then NABIT or Civet would be the remainder of that. So this information is attached to the agenda item for all of our constituents for your use. And that summarizes what the attached chart that doesn't make sense to most people, that summarizes that in a way that's meaningful to the constituents and to you and to the other elected officials here in Gila County. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Supervisor Klein.
Mayor, thank you. So looking at these figures, and I don't remember exactly last year, but it seems like they're real close to last year's figures.
Yeah, they don't change much. It would take a really big shift in any one levy to change those ratios much.
Thank you.
Supervisor Christian.
So thank you. I thank you for that. I thank you for all you do. I don't have any questions.
Yeah, I think the way that you presented that, it comes out pretty neat. So yeah, that was cleverly done for us to better understand. So thank you.
And if I may, I'd like to thank Nikki Quarles in the health department. She helped us make that more usable this year. It's more easy to read than it was in the past.
Yeah.
And we've had lots of help from the assessor's office and the treasurer's office. It really was a team effort. And I'm thankful for their help, for the school superintendent's office, and for everybody else that contributed to this.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, then we're going to move on to regular agenda item 2B. And that is information discussion action to approve amendment number 2 to professional service contract number 012924, Federal Relations Services with BOS Public Affairs Group LLC, extending the contract through June 30th, 2027 for a maximum not to exceed compensation amount of $88,000.
Mr. Chair, we need to vote on the first one.
Oh, okay. Okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye on A.
I don't think the motion's been made.
Need a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move to set primary and secondary property taxes for the fiscal year 2026-2027 for all taxing jurisdictions within Gila County and convey tax rates for all jurisdictions to the county treasurer and adopt resolution number 26-08-01 as presented.
And I'll second it.
Now we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimous. Okay.
Thank you.
She's supposed to be giving me one.
Okay, Michael, I jumped the gun. There you go.
No problem, Chairman, members of the board. So last time I brought this in front of the board voted against renewing this contract. And I went back to take a look at some of the communication gaps that we had from the board members on behalf of BOS Public Affairs, our lobbyist in Washington. And we're doing communication a little bit different. And so what I've asked BOS to do is put together a report on some of the activities that they do on behalf of Gila County and some of the federal grant monies that they've acquired on behalf of Gila County to show value for this contract to bring back in front of the board for reconsideration. And I have Robin here from BOS that would be happy to answer any question. The report is part of this item, and they've played a significant part in obtaining quite a few $1 million of highway funding for the Tunnel Bridge and 512 Road and those kinds of projects. It's in the report. And so I'm bringing this in front of the board for reconsideration and be happy to answer any questions you have, or Robin from BOS is here to answer any questions you might have as well.
Okay, then, Robin, would you like to?
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Good morning, Chair Humphrey, Supervisor Klein, and Supervisor Christensen, and to the Gila County staff and folks that are tuning in online. My name is Robin Heestand. I'm Vice President at BOS Public Affairs. We've been working with the county for over 20 years, and we've secured about $64 million in various federal funds, including most recently about $22 million related to the flooding that the county experienced last fall. I won't go over the specifics of our proposal, but we have, I just want to highlight a few. One is an infrastructure highway funds. The county only has to provide about a 5.7% match. That was done in 2008, and that is now built into sort of your baseline budgeting. We worked collaboratively with the county in 2020 to build the Tonto Creek Bridge, which broke ground in 2022 and was open to the public in 2024. We worked collaboratively with the supervisors on PILT, which is obviously a huge priority for the county. And then I mentioned briefly disaster recovery, working to get answers to where funding is in the pipeline, when can the county expect it, knowing that you are going to have a 220-day timeline to execute at least the USDA funds. Current status as to what's happening in Washington, D.C. right now. There's appropriations measures. I think Congress is going to pass a continuing resolution that will fund the government through December. There is a congressionally designated project that we submitted through Senator Kelly in Gallego's office. That's related to, we submitted several, but the one that they want to move forward is related to the sheriff's vehicles, and that was meant to sort of provide some relief to your general fund operating expenses, given the costs related to the flooding. Disaster declaration, we continue to monitor that. And then there's two other pieces of legislation that are moving through the surface transportation bill, which is going to expire at the end of September, as well as the Water Resources Development Act, which is Army Corps of Engineer projects. And then I briefly mentioned last week, there's the land swap bill that has been progressing through the Senate. So we are very honored to do this work, enjoy working for the county, and we humbly ask for a 1-year extension so we can sort of keep the trains on the track and keep kind of projects that we have in the pipeline moving forward. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Supervisor Klein.
Robin, thank you. Thank you for coming out here and seeing us and being part of that. And thank you for meeting with me. And I apologize again, I was a few minutes late. But we had a good conversation. Yeah. And like we talked about, there's things that the county definitely needs to stay on top of. One of them that we continue to go back and forth, and this is something I didn't talk with you about earlier because I spaced it, I shouldn't have, but is the PILT and SRS issues that continue to go on year after year out there. And we continually fly back and have those meetings and things like that. But the SRS and PILT is very, very important to our county. Yeah. Just like all the rest of the counties. We're no different than the rest. But anyway, I was one that voted against the contract to start with. And that was, a lot of it was just because of the communication parts. And I didn't see where we were getting anything on my side of it to warrant that. But we discussed that this morning, and so I appreciate that, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And I am committed to communicating with the board and trying to find ways to add value, including the grants newsletter that I do biweekly, and open to additional feedback.
Thank you, Supervisor Christensen.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Robin, for coming out and clarifying. And so through this process, the discovering all that you do is really important, and I'm really excited about all that you really do. And I think that the cost is very much worth the value we're receiving. And you're in a place where it's chaotic and it's just a whole different climate. I'd rather you do it than me. And so some of the things you're working on are very important to us. I would like to see PILT, the rate that they pay, be higher. It affects us so much here in Gila County because there is so much federal lands here in Gila County comparably. And we're still receiving funds that are equivalent to what we got 20 years ago or more. And I mean the same exact dollar amount, not the same value.
Right.
And so the value is going down year by year and becoming more and more difficult. And I think it should be incumbent upon our federal government to accommodate those of us that suffer more because of that. And then I know you've been working on the FEMA declaration, and that's really good. You're basically the last prong we have on that trident or whatever you want to call it. We've tried twice, got shut down. It'd be nice if we could get that. If we don't, we know you're working on it, and that's really good.
Okay, thank you so much. I hear what you're saying on PILT and secure rural schools. I would just like to add, with regard to the FEMA declaration, we did ask, Senator Gallego had an sort of offline conversation with Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen when he was going through the Senate. He agreed to look at this issue, and Senator Gallego continues to push the administration on it. They've asked for a briefing on why Gila and Mojave counties were denied. And I think that briefing is going to be for Arizona stakeholders, and it should happen at the end of this month, I'm told. I think you're right. We've done the appeal. We've exhausted the appeal through the administration. I think any kind of fix may have to come from the congressional side. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I thank you for coming out and meeting with us. I didn't vote against the last time. I support you, and I do believe under past management you met with Mr. Minlove often, but it didn't trickle down to the board of what some of these conversations were and what you were actually doing for us. So I appreciate the continued communication with our new management. Even though you didn't have a contract, you have continued to give us information and help us go forward, and that says a lot for your company and what you represent and what you've done for us in the past and want to continue in the future. So thank you very much for your time and all that you work to help us with up there, because there's a lot of juggling acts and you're in the middle of them, and sometimes we're not. So
thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further questions or comments? Okay, then I will call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve amendment number 2 to professional services contract number 012924 with BOS Public Affairs Group LLC as presented.
I will second that.
Having a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimous. Michael, Robin, thank you very much. Okay, then we are going to go on to 2C, regular agenda item, information discussion action to authorize the Gila County Animal Care and Control Division to submit a fiscal year 2027 grant application to Arizona Companion Animal Spay and Neuter Committee in the amount of $10,000 for 1 year to expand the Gila County's discounted spay neuter service program. John Costantino, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the board. This is our annual low-cost spay and neuter grant application. We're requesting $10,000 in grant funds to help support our low-cost spay and neuter program. This is open to all residents in Gila County, northern and southern. We have, last year, we were able to put 80 families, 80 animals through the low-cost spay and neuter program. We try to hit for 100 every year with that $10,000, but some circumstances, some animals cost more than others, so it takes funds away from us. With that, I'll entertain any questions you may have.
Okay, Supervisor Klein.
John, this is about the amount you had last year, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
the year before, it's been kind of just the same amount for
Yes,
the most
sir.
part. So how many animals do you think you turn back just because you don't have enough money?
So we refer people to the Humane Society, also has a grant application
Okay.
for the same thing. So we send them down there, plus they get a lot of donations to help that. So there's other organizations in the area that help out. So we send people to the Humane Society down there. And I would say probably at least 100 people that we have to turn away. I mean, we have a list right now that is probably waiting for, if we do get approval for this, probably about 60 people on the list right now, waiting to be approved for November.
Joe, I have a question for you because this is a good program, and I knew that it's never enough. It's like a lot of our programs. Is there anything against the law for me to contribute, say, $1,000, $2,000 out of my constituent fund for this?
Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Klein, this is the same question that was asked last year, and the county attorney's office would caution against using economic development funds for this purpose. It's really something that either should be funded out of the general fund of the county when the budgets are prepared, but that's going to be a difficult figure to arrive at because you can never anticipate the number of animals that people bring in for free treatment. And part of the obligation of animal ownership is their care and maintenance. So if you're going to own a dog or a cat, then the owner should be responsible for that expense, unless, for some good reason they can't do that. And then they can turn to either the Humane Society or the county. But we would caution against using economic development funds for that purpose because you can't show the value of the consideration coming from the public for that service.
So I appreciate that, Joe. Well, maybe we'll work on that a little bit more, me and you. How's that?
Sure.
Okay. I'll see what I do, JC.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just see the need, and we've never, it's no different than some of our housing improvement stuff. We never have enough dollars.
Yep.
It never does. And when things go on and animals don't get tended to, that becomes more of a impact for you guys and for the kennels and everything else. So
yep. All right, thank you.
I'll work on it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Supervisor Christensen.
Thank you. So JC, this is, you're applying for a grant. You get them pretty much every year.
Yes.
And so I appreciate Mr. Albo's comments, and ownership of a pet should require you to take care of that pet. But so how many, you say there's about 60 that didn't get served. Is there a qualifying, a qualification to get free neutering?
So it's not free. So when people do apply for the program through us, they pay an $80 fee to get, it's low cost. So we charge them $80 and that money goes back into general fund to be used next year for our program.
So can anyone qualify for that?
Yes, we
So
haven't
you could be a millionaire and just want to get your spay and neutering done cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I have no questions, and so I appreciate very much what you guys do, and every one of them that you can spay or neuter, the less that we have to deal with in the future. So thank you very much. You
Well,
see, I
thank you.
appreciate it. And so with, if there's no further questions, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to authorize Gila County Animal Care and Control Division to submit a fiscal year 2027 grant application to the Arizona Companion Animal Spay and Neuter Committee as presented.
I'll second it.
Having a motion second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you.
Good luck with the grant.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to 2D, information discussion action to adopt resolution number 26-08-02, accepting a public road easement adjacent to Johnson Boulevard from the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service. Mr. Matt Rensher, good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Christensen, Supervisor Klein. Appreciate the time. This easement is being brought before you because we're replacing a bridge on Johnson Boulevard in Tana Village. And during the initial design, we discovered that part of the pavement and the bridge were actually outside of our right of way. And so we approached the Forest Service to see if they would be willing to grant an easement to us to build and maintain that bridge, and they're not opposed to it, and they support it, and so we're bringing this to you for consideration for the acquisition of that easement. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, Supervisor Klein.
Matt, thank you. I wouldn't think there'd be any reason for him not to, so thank you.
Supervisor Christensen.
Thank you. I have no questions.
And I have no questions. Thank you. So I will call for a motion.
I will make the motion to adopt resolution number 260802.
I will second.
Having a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, unanimous on 2D, going to 2E.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Information discussion action to approve contract number 22-02 PV-18-GC3 with Sentinel Technologies Incorporated for Microsoft renewal fiscal year 2027 in the amount of $264,979.89 for a term of August 22nd through 2020. From August 22nd, 2026 through August 21st, 2027. Well, hello there, Carrie. How are you today?
Good. Good morning,
Good.
Chairman. Good morning, Supervisors. This is our yearly renewal for our Microsoft product. So your Outlook, your Word, Excel, any of your Microsoft applications that we use, and including Exchange. So this is our yearly renewal for that. I can answer any questions if y'all have any.
Okay. Supervisor Klein, questions?
Carrie, I don't have any. Thank you.
Thank you.
Supervisor Christensen?
Thank you, Carrie. I have no questions.
Thank you.
Nor do I. And so I hope it keeps all rolling and going for us. So with that, I'll call a motion for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve a contract number 22-02 PV-18-GC3 with Sentinel Technologies Incorporated as presented.
And I'll second that.
Having a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
2E passes unanimous. Okay, now we already did F. We're going on to consent agenda action items. There's A through K. Anybody want to pull anything off?
I do not.
Supervisor Klein?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I don't want to pull anything off. I just want to say that today there are 9 exemption waivers in that consent, and these are passed when it was time to apply. So these have passed on time to apply, and we're giving them permission to go ahead and get it done. So anyway, that's all I have. And if no one wants to pull one, then we will go and I'll call for a motion on consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve consent agenda item 3A through 3K.
I will second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Consent agenda items A through K pass unanimous. Okay, so that moves us on to call to the public. It doesn't look like we have anyone in Payson. We have no one here. Do we have anyone on the internet?
No questions.
Okay, how many do we have on there today?
We've got 21 concurrent.
21?
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, then we'll move on to summary of current events. Mr. O'Driscoll.
Chairman, members of the board, at this time, I don't have any updates, but I will send some updates later this week. I just came back from vacation, so I'm playing catch up right now.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good update. I hope you had a good time.
Yes, sir, I did. Thank you.
Supervisor Klein.
About a week ago, I met with a constituent out there at Christatil Mine, and Randy Plumer went with me and Kathy Melvin. And so he had a good field trip of what this guy's wanted to do, and working with permitting and things like that went really well. I attended the regional training center groundbreaking in Payson on Wednesday with Supervisor Christensen. I thought it was a really good turnout. It was a real nice morning. Quite a few people, and so that went well. I also had a phone call with the Bowman Group, Todd and Andy, regarding the opinion from the Arizona State Council regarding PVVR, and they've reached out to Senator Gowan to work with his staff to go back to the Legislative Council, and Josh was in this meeting with me as well, and Legislative Council to get a clarification and see if they really meant what they said on writing. So I think they told us maybe less than a month, maybe less, so hopefully we'll have an opinion coming back from Legislative Council on that. So other than that, I guess for right now, I'm okay.
Supervisor Christian.
Thank you, Chairman. I met with the Yavapai Apache Nation Chairman, Vice Chairman, and a couple of the members on the 11th. It was a phone call type message, Teams meeting with regard to Fossil Creek and the upgrades on the Bob Bear Trail. It went very well. Things have been moving along. I don't report on it frequently, but I'm working on it almost constantly. And we are on the very, very verge of completing the approval to get Bob Bear Trail fixed up and make it more emergency friendly. And it's not an improvement that will improve access for the general public through vehicular access. It only improves for emergency and law enforcement access. And with the special ability to have also the tribal members visit this place that they consider a sacred and holy place that they can visit. So that went very well, and right now it's in our legal department. I talked to Jessica. She's drafting or comparing some notes on what the agreement will look like and what the county will be responsible for and the other parties, what we will be responsible for. I spoke at the Tea Party on the 11th that evening, and that went actually very well. Worked out great. And this week is rodeo week in Payson. And I usually always say this, but I'll say it again. We started our rodeo in 1884, 2 years, 11 months before Prescott started their rodeo. However, Prescott in 1985 trademarked the phrase world's oldest rodeo. So Payson has the world's oldest rodeo, and it's also the oldest continuous rodeo. And so I'm proud of that, and I like to mention that. It's a little bit of a rivalry. And I was also at the search and rescue groundbreaking. It's a really marvelous thing to see that going on. They've been working really hard to get their own place, and it's fantastic. And so anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, my recent activities is I held a Roosevelt community meeting on the 10th. I met with Michael Harper for the TRSD Tri-City Sanitation on the 6th, and I held a Tonto Basin meeting on the 4th. I have also spent an awful lot of time returning many phone calls and emails, because after our presentation on July 28th on the PVVR, I asked if it had been licensed, and so from that led to apparently a meeting in Young on the following Saturday. About the 4th, August 4th, our agenda said that we were going into an executive session for discussion and consultation with the board's attorney regarding the Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat. And so anyway, from that meeting, I guess people got the wrong impression, because on Facebook, there was a Facebook post put out, and I'll read it. Attention all veterans, veteran supporters, and friends. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., there is a Gila County Supervisors meeting, and one of the main topics will be the intention to shut down the Veterans Retreat in Young. 2 supervisors in particular are planning to vote to shut it down. They are Tim Humphrey, phone number 928-402-4418, email thumphrey@gilacountyaz.gov. I won't bring the other one in on this, but also name and phone number. We need to flood them with phone calls and emails to try to stop this action. Also, if possible, attend the meeting to support keeping it open. Ladies and gentlemen, I have supported it for 10 years that I have been a supervisor. Where this came from, I don't know, but I do know that if it's going to continue, I want it to be legal and not fully on the backs of Gila County. And so my phone number is 928-961-2885. If you have further phone calls or emails you would like to discuss what I have been told over the last 5 years, I have a lot of information that I'll be happy to share with you, and it's a little bit different story. And so that's my update. Does anybody else have anything to offer?
I do.
Go right ahead.
Michael, would you give us the background on the licensing agreement, please?
Okay.
Item number 6, I would like to remind the board that this is a mirror agenda. It wasn't written by the county attorney's office. It said the board of supervisors will not control, discuss, deliberate, or legal action on a request for future agenda item unless specific matters is properly noticed for legal action. That hasn't been done. I didn't interrupt the chairman, Mr. Humphrey, because part of what is proper under the discussion of future agenda items or summary of current events is to respond to criticism, which is what Mr. Humphrey did. But if the board intends to discuss this further in open session, then it has to be put on a proper agenda, perhaps, in a work session.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay. Then if no one else has anything for summary of current events, we can go to request for future agenda items. Supervisor Klein, you have anything on
Michael, did I make a request last week or 2 weeks ago for a agenda item on our permitting issue in Young?
Chairman, members of the board, Supervisor Klein, yes, you did.
Okay.
You made 2 requests, one for zoning and one for building.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. That's only
Yes, sir.
in mind, but I wasn't sure I made that request.
And we have that scheduled for September 29th.
Okay, thank
That
you.
meeting, at the request of the chairman, will be up in the Tommy Klein Martin complex.
On the zoning part or the permitting?
Both.
Okay, good.
Yes, and as far as, if I may address this, your last issue will also be addressed during that work session. So all three of those items will be wrapped up into one work session on September 29th.
Thank you.
You betcha, sir.
Supervisor Christensen, would you like a request for future agenda items?
Thank you, Chairman. Not at this time.
Okay, then we'll move on to 7, work session items. Information discussion regarding the status of flood recovery projects, associated funding resources, and the 220-day completion timeline requirements for the NRCS Emergency Watershed Protection Projects. Matt Fincher, good
Thank
morning.
you, Mr. Chairman. Again, supervisors, thanks for the time. I'm pleased to report that the projects are all moving very, very well. Russell Gulch is substantially complete. The only thing that we have left on Russell Gulch is the installation of the backflow gate on the culvert, and that should be installed this week. That's coming in. We haven't received any invoices from last week to this week, so it looks like we will be below budget on that project. Six Shooter Canyon is at 88.5%. Ice House Canyon is at 92.5%. And the Copper Hills Road and the hospital are both at 75%. Again, all projects track to being completed under budget. We have been submitting in invoices to the NRCS system, and with the approval from the NRCS, we will be getting those funds reimbursed to us.
Okay. Supervisor Klein, any questions?
No, thank you, Matt. Thanks for everything you're doing.
Supervisor Christensen?
Thank you, Matt, for the update. Sounds like everything's on track. When is the actual deadline? The 220-day is in November?
It's in October. It's like
It's in
the
October.
15th or 16th of
Okay.
October, but it looks like all of the projects will be completed well before that.
Okay, thank you.
How are we on the hospital wall?
We're at 75%. We're tracking substantially under budget for the completion.
Okay,
So
yeah, it got a late start,
It
so
did,
that was my.
but they're moving very, very quickly on it. So even with the late start, we expect to be completed by the 220 days completion.
Okay, good. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If there's no further questions, we will go on to item 8, executive session items. Information discussion action to vote to go into executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431.02A and 3 for discussion and consultation with the board's attorney regarding the county's statutory authority related to expenditures for economic development and the proposed agreement with Discover Gila County. And Josh, did you want to say something prior to us calling for a motion? Yes, sir.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Yes, I was asked to present the item, so I'll try to dance around what I can say here. So, as everyone knows, Discover Gila County has been waiting patiently for us to renew the contract with them. The question before us today is not whether Discover Gila County does great work or whether tourism helps the economy. I can tell you personally this weekend I spent a lot of time comparing our county's website versus numerous other counties and running analytics and the information that Discover Gila County gave us, and they clearly do a great job comparatively to the other counties. I think we can all say that tourism helps the economy. The reason before us today is the board needs to know whether Arizona law allows the county to pay for the activities in the proposed agreement and whether the agreement gives the county fair measurable values for the $215,000 being asked. Do the activities in the proposed agreement fit within Gila County's authority under ARS 11254 and 11254.04? And is the fair market value information strong enough to support the proposed $250,000 annual payment under the gift clause? Does the nonprofit structure provide a meaningful legal or public purpose benefit, or should the county consider directly procuring the same services through an open procurement process? And then if the Gila County enters into a new agreement with Discover Gila County, what protections should be in place to make sure public money is protected, the program stays fair, and the county can clearly measure what it is paying for? Should the agreement require full financial reporting and county auditing rights, including payments to major contractors? And should the agreement require conflict disclosures, recusals, and fair written rules for partnerships and special promotions of businesses, because the majority of the funds that go to Discover Gila County are public funds? And those are the questions before us today that I was seeking counsel for.
Okay, I guess, thank you for the warm-up. And so I'll call for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move to enter executive session to address item 9A pursuant ARS 38-431 for discussion and consultation with the board's attorneys regarding the county statutory authority related to expenditures for economic development and the proposed agreement with Discover Gila County.
Mr. Chair, I'm not going to second this motion because I feel like what we're going to discuss could easily be discussed in public. And so I'll let you guys do it.
I'll second it. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Supervisor Christian and Supervisor Humphrey voted to go into executive session. Supervisor Klein did not.
Mr. Chairman, Macy Hamblin of the County Attorney's Office is going to present any legal advice that the board may request or need regarding this agenda item. And she had a contested hearing in Superior Court today that required her personal appearance, and she will be here at about 11:15. So the County Attorney's Office is asking for a recess of the meeting and delay of the executive session until 11:15 when she arrives.
Okay, then we'll take a short break. Everybody be back here by about 11:10. So we'll be here and ready when she's available.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we're going to take a recess. need to be in there, let's head that way. Okay, everybody ready? We are back from executive session, so we're gonna be back to being the Board of Supervisors. And with that said, I will call for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a motion that county staff and attorney follow the directions stated in the executive session to meet with the Discover Gila County Board of Directors and make plans for a future meeting regarding the contract, et cetera.
I'll second that.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Passes unanimous, so thank you all very much. I will adjourn today's meeting.
Stay and sign contracts.